They run away, like they don't want to be used or killed. Is it, from their perspective, is this a just arrangement? Is it acceptable from their perspective?
If they were sentient and could say yes or no, I'm sure
they
would
are
choose.
Sentient.
Oh, I'm sure they would choose.
You just mean like
no.
if they couldn't speak.
If they could communicate
Right.
it, I'm sure they would say, no, don't kill me.
You have time for a couple questions? Doing a social experiment?
We're live on YouTube.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
He's going to interview you.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's get you in frame. You are in frame. Okay. What is your name?
Zach.
Nice to meet you, Zach. I'm Cooper.
Nice to meet you, Cooper.
How do you feel about animals? What do you think of animals? You love them?
I mean, so many thoughts.
So many thoughts.
Some are
come to
really
mind.
important for the ecology. Some are great as companions.
So you have any companions at home?
2 cats.
2 cats. Okay. I wonder, with the time that you spend with your cats, what does that teach you about their feelings and their capacities?
Ooh. Well, it teaches you, well, I don't know. I feel like I've learned from my cats that they are very intelligent in their way. Like they have their ways of communicating that are a little different.
Their meows. They're different meows.
Yeah, or different like, oh, they're extra cuddly right now. They must be low on food in their bowl. Or
Yeah. My kitty will sometimes get my feet when it's time for dinner, and I'm saying, "You're trying to hunt me?"
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. You know, like the extra cuddles.
There's definitely the interactions.
Yeah. And then they just you can tell when they trust somebody. When we have someone new come over, when there's a friend around, sometimes they're a little more hidden, a little more shy, and then sometimes right away they take to somebody and they just
some people they can feel it, and other people they're like, maybe not so much.
Yeah. So while they can't say it verbally,
you can see
tell
it through their
from
actions.
their cues, like how they're feeling about a situation.
Yeah. Do you think that your cats have the capacity to suffer?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Has there ever been a time where you've seen your cats suffer?
Yeah, one of our cats recently developed some bladder stones. And we could tell initially she would go into the litter box and scratch and scratch and scratch, which was unusual, and then leave, kept going back. And then we noticed a little bit of blood spotting.
Yeah.
And she just seemed really uncomfortable, so we took her to the emergency vet and got that all checked out. And
so you have a recent experience that proves to you that these animals definitely they can experience things like pain and suffering.
Yeah.
This question might be a little bit more challenging, a little more confronting, but I'm wondering, do you think that animals like fish and birds and pigs, do they share this capacity with your cats? Do you think that they have the ability to be a little person and to suffer?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that we know that chickens and other crows, ravens, tremendous intelligence.
Super intelligence, right?
So intelligent. Yeah.
I wonder if you think in 2025, as people who live in Portland and we shop at grocery stores and farmers markets, do you think there's anything that we need from animals?
Anything that we need from animals, to survive?
Right, to survive and thrive, as people who live in Portland and, we have the conveniences of grocery stores and farmers markets.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's something that everyone has to answer for themselves. I think that there's a symbiotic relationship that we have with animals, and there's a way to live within that. And then there's a lot of systems that we have in place that need to change drastically.
Right.
So
I agree, yeah.
Every animal, every living thing has a natural life cycle, right? So if you take a cow, for example,
right?
If we took every cow that was on a farm right now and we just said, go be wild, what does that even mean?
Right, because they've been domesticated.
Alter those animals.
Correct.
So that would mean we're just going to watch them die, because, or even those that are on farms and say it's an organic farm and they're pasture raised and they're treated, that cow is still going to have a life cycle.
Right.
So at the end of that life cycle, we look at products like leather or things like that. We don't need to specifically raise them to kill them for that, but those animals are going to have an end of their life cycle.
Right.
And so is it beneficial to make use of every element of that animal
Yeah.
as that life cycle. Or
I
chickens,
wonder,
they
like,
lay
yeah.
eggs. And so there's that too. Like, I understand people's
If I
ideas
can get
and
back
thoughts.
to just because I don't think that I'm not sure if you heard the question. Do you think that there's anything? Well, because I think maybe it's a little bit complicated to think about what everybody needs. But do you think maybe if we're thinking about your situation in life, do you think that there's anything that you need from animals?
I can say that after experimenting with veganism and vegetarianism for 5 or 6 years, I can say that when I altered my diet and started including animal products back into my diet, I can say that I felt better. So
With your own health?
Yeah. From my personal experience, I do feel better when I have a little bit of red meat occasionally or a little bit of animal fat with like eggs or a dairy product or something like that. Everyone's different and they've all got to make their own decisions.
Right. I wonder, what is it specifically in these products that you think you couldn't get from plants?
It could just be the way the animal fat, maybe the vitamin D concentration, just maybe my body absorbed that more readily than a vitamin, a supplement.
If you found out that, like, right, because you tried like a plant-based diet, but if you tried a different plant-based diet and it didn't have these consequences for you, let's say you were surviving, thriving, your energy levels were okay, would you agree that that is in line with your principles if you think that these animals have the capacity to suffer?
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm open to anything.
Yeah.
And then that's why I tried the vegetarian diet, the vegan diet for a while.
We talk about veganism a lot as a culture, but I'm wondering, how would you define veganism? What do you think veganism is?
I mean, I would say avoiding the conscious consumption of a product that came directly from an animal or was taken from an animal.
That's close, and that's definitely something that vegans do, so you're on the right track. We define veganism here more precisely as like a principle against using animals.
Okay.
So I wonder, outside of food where you have this concern,
of like leathers and things like that.
Outside of food where you might have this hang up with your own health, I'm wondering, do you use animals for something like horse racing, or
no?
Would you use something like leather or wool?
Leather, wool, interestingly, depending on where it came from and like what the process was.
If you had an alternative, like there's two jackets and one uses the wool and one doesn't, would you feel any reason to purchase the one that doesn't have it?
I would say say one is wool and one is just a cotton or a hemp product, then I would probably choose like the cotton or the plant product.
Right.
But if one is a wool product and one is like a polyester product made from plastic, then I would choose the wool.
If you found out that the animals were being killed to produce this wool,
then I wouldn't choose it.
You wouldn't choose it?
No.
Right.
But if it was an ethical farm and they were just shearing them as the wool grew, and then they took care of them the rest of the year, and then they sheared them when it grew thick.
Yeah. Do you think this principle also applies, or do you think it logically extends to our food choices in the sense that if we have a plant-based option, do you think that it's fair from the animal's perspective to use and kill them?
Well, plant-based option versus an animal option can get interesting ethically looking at. So, for example, I lived in California for a decade.
Right.
So, environmentally, almond farming can be very destructive.
Right.
So, when someone's looking at I could choose
there
an
are
almond-free
vegans. Like, actually, I don't buy almonds. So
I think that's a great choice. So it always, I think with anything just like that, it depends on what we're talking about.
Right.
Like, are we talking about a farm that relies heavily on pesticides and things that can pollute our water supply, or things that take drastic amounts of water, versus a pasture-raised farm where animals are taken care of and given a better living.
I don't
their
dispute.
Natural
like,
life
I understand
cycle.
what you're saying, that they're much happier animals while they're alive. I wonder, do you see an injustice in taking their life if we didn't need to? If we could have just ate, for instance, the plant-based burger instead, or a bowl of lentils and rice? Do you think it's fair from their perspective?
It's a interesting question. I
What do
think
you
it's
think?
a philosophical question. It could go a lot of different ways.
What are your thoughts? Do you think it's
Fair?
fair from their perspective
I
if you
think-
have another option?
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone has a lot of options. I don't think that fair is the way that I would measure it. I think that animals have always been a part of
Do you
as
think if
much
things
human-
happen for a long time, do you think that makes it more fair or more ethical if it's happened for a long time?
No, in all situations, no.
Right.
I
right. I'm
think
sure
that-
we can think of human situations
Oh, yeah,
where
yeah,
we don't.
tons of them.
So many,
Yeah,
right.
Laws.
So do you think that because we've been using and killing animals for a long time, does that make it acceptable or fair for the animals?
I do think that for a lot of animals, like nature in general, animals eat animals. Fish eat other fish. Sharks eat
Sometimes
fish,
we'll
whales
notice
eat
like
fish.
patterns in nature which you and I might not agree with.
Yeah.
Such as sometimes like big cats will actually eat their babies.
Yeah.
I wonder, do you think that like if somebody was to go and eat a baby, like a human baby, that obviously wouldn't be right, even though it happens in
Correct.
nature,
Yeah.
even though it could be said
Sure.
to be natural.
Sure.
Do you think it's possible that like it's part of nature to use animals, or that it happens naturally, but that it could also be wrong when we have other options in 2025?
I wouldn't say wrong. I think that everyone is allowed to make their own choices. I wouldn't ever I consume animal products.
What do you think of from the animal's perspective? Like, I understand, like, it's you don't want to kind of like judge other humans.
Yeah.
But if there's just like a pig here, like, is it fair to them? Like, we have a vegan meal, we could eat that instead.
Sure.
Is it fair to stab them and kill them? Or from their perspective, like,
I mean, I'm
like
sure.
you're going up to slit their throat, they run away, like they don't want to be used or killed. Is it, from their perspective, is this a,
Yeah, well,
a
that's
just
a-
arrangement? Is it acceptable from their perspective?
If they were sentient and could say yes or no, I'm sure
Well,
they
they
would
are
choose.
sentient.
Oh, I'm sure they would
You
choose.
just mean like if
no.
they couldn't
If they
speak.
could communicate
Right.
it, I'm sure they would say, "No, don't kill me."
Right.
But I'm sure.
I'm actually an autistic person, and there's actually a lot of nonverbal autistic people.
Sure.
Do you think that we matter any less because sometimes we don't speak or we
No,
can't
not at
voice
all.
it? But just like you said at the beginning of the conversation, even though animals maybe don't, like you were talking about your cats, they
Yeah.
don't literally speak words like English
Sure.
like you and I.
Yeah.
We can tell through their body language and their actions how they're feeling.
Yeah.
And I wonder, from their body language and how animals react to being hurt and to
Sure.
being stabbed,
Yeah.
do you think we can surmise from that they don't want that to happen to them?
Yeah, and I do think there's a lot of situations, like if you look at factory farms,
Right.
those are devastating from.
Let's think about one pig, though, like a
Every-
really happy pig.
Yeah,
Like a really happy pig.
Sure.
Is it okay to stab this pig if we have another option? What do you think? What's your heart say?
I don't have an ethical problem with someone consuming animal products. I don't have a problem with it. I know that some people do.
Well, do you think it's fair from the animal's perspective? Because that's a little bit of a different question.
Fair as opposed to
As to being unfair, something they
like,
didn't want.
So the pig, okay, so in the other direction, if the pig is alive, eventually the pig is going to die. Yes.
Right.
So what do you think is the best use
So
of
like
the pig
when
in that
when my dog
situation?
died a few months back,
Yeah.
what we did was we cremated them.
Okay,
We didn't decide to grab our forks and knives and chop them up.
sure.
So
But
it's
that's
part of not.
cultural more than
Do you think the fact that it's cultural to use fish, pigs, and these other animals, does the fact that something is cultural, does it make it acceptable?
depending
Has
on
there
the
been
situation.
cultural things? Has there been something cultural that you can imagine
Sure.
which is not right or which is unacceptable?
Yeah, and I think that every situation individually depends
Yeah.
on the
But therefore,
specific
like,
situation.
do you think that we could say it's not because it's culture then? it's not right to use and kill animals because of culture. If culture can lead us to right conclusions, to wrong conclusions, to fairness, to unfairness, then we can't use culture to use animals. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does, and that's why
Yeah.
I think every situation needs to be looked at
Right.
on an and the whole ethos of the situation, and not just painting.
And what about
like,
you?
meat or no
Yeah.
meat, or fish or no fish, because like overfishing is a terrible situation. We're
Right,
seeing
definitely.
Like I just saw a couple of days ago that thousands of penguins in the Arctic have died because
Right.
of overfishing, because they don't have the access to the sardines and the anchovies that usually move down. So in that situation, I can confidently, ethically say we are overfishing our oceans, and we need to be drastically more concerned about that.
I want to get back to like the individual animals. So like there's one fish. They're a really happy fish, and we're only going to pull one out of the river. But we
Okay.
could have just eaten something. We could have ate something else instead. Do you think the experience of pulling the fish out of the water where they can breathe into an environment where they're suffocating now, do you think that's fair from their perspective when we have options and when we live in 2025? Do you think it's fair?
I understand we have options. I don't think that it's unfair.
Why?
I think people have the ability to make that choice. If someone wants to,
Do you agree that
like
it's
we know that
unnecessary?
it's not toxic to the human. We know that it's,
But it
you know,
is
in
to the
some
animal,
harm.
right? It takes their whole life from them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think
Yeah.
that that's a part of the life cycle of nature. You know, like
Right.
the Lion King, the
We're
circle
going
of life.
kind of
And
going
we
in a
should have
circle
reverence
because
for that.
we're going in a little bit of a circle here because
Yeah.
we did talk about nature.
Right.
And we agreed that something isn't acceptable because it's natural. Remember we talked
Not
about
everything.
Right. And not using animals can't be justified because it's natural. Because there are things which are natural which are good
Not as
and
a
which are
pure
bad.
justification.
Right. So there's some other reason why it's okay. So why do you think it's okay if we have another option to kill an animal?
I think that every option needs to be considered in its entirety, and just because like you could eat a bagel instead of the fish
Well,
doesn't
you
mean
could
that
eat something healthier than just bread.
Yeah, sure, but again, that's always you have to look at every impact of each choice. I don't have a problem if somebody wants to responsibly fish.
Do you think the fish have a problem with it when they're being suffocated?
Well, I mean, usually when somebody goes fishing and they catch the fish, they're killing the fish pretty quickly.
Well, they
Beyond
they
just
come
sort
out
of
of the
like
water. They're
cutting
kind
their
of
head
wriggling
off, or-
around, right? They're suffocating.
For
That
a moment.
entire moment,
Yeah.
they're suffering.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I understand having compassion for that, and
Well, do you think we should not do it if we don't need to?
I don't think we need to stop people from fishing.
Well, it's hard to talk about everybody else because, we can't be responsible for everybody's actions.
course.
But you yourself,
Right.
do you think it's okay to kill a fish when you don't need to?
I mean, I don't, but like I don't fish is what I'm saying. I don't have a problem if somebody does fish.
Right. So which animals do you use again?
I consume beef products, chicken products.
So do you think it's okay to kill a chicken or a cow for you when you don't need to? Do you think it's fair to them?
I think that fair is an interesting word to use in the conversation, as though the chicken is
Is it
going
ethical?
to... Ethical? I do feel like it can be done in an ethical way that
If you didn't need to
respects
at all,
the
right? So you
animal.
didn't need to cut the bird's head off at all. But you cut their head
But
off
you're
anyway.
s-
Could that be ethical?
You're starting from a foundation of saying
Right.
no death of animals at human hands.
No killing.
Is right.
Yeah.
Is
Animals are
is-
going to die, but do you think
Correct.
we should kill them if we don't need to?
Right, but you're starting from a hard stance of that's your opinion.
Would you
So
would you
I
accept
don't
dog
have a
farming?
problem. Of what farming?
Dog farming.
No, puppy mills are terrible.
So, but you do support cow farming and pig farming. I'm wondering, what do you think the difference is between a dog and a pig, which makes it okay to kill the pig but not the
Well,
dog?
okay, so let's look at that. So puppy mills, for example, a lot
Well,
of
what's the
those...
difference between the dog and the pig first?
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
going to tell you exactly why I have a difference of opinion with that.
Okay.
Because these people that run puppy mills will breed dogs. Oftentimes, they won't take them as puppies into veterinarians to make sure that they have the vaccinations that they need.
Same happens to animals in
They're
animal
not-
ag, but yes.
Yeah, it can,
continue.
and that's what I
It
said.
does
There's
happen,
a
yeah.
very big difference between
So they're both wrong.
a pasture-raised farm and a factory farm. If you want to talk about factory farming,
But
I'm with you 100%.
with the pasture-raised animal, with the
Sure.
happy pig,
Yeah,
do
sure.
you think it makes a difference whether a pig is happy or sad when you kill them when you don't need to? Does it make a difference whether they're happy
I do
or
think
sad?
that the life cycle of the animal is important.
Do you think that the fact that they're a happy pig, does that make it okay to kill them when you don't need to?
I think that the end result...
Is it okay to kill a happy dog?
No, because if you're killing a happy, you're not killing it for
To eat them.
consumption.
To eat them.
You're not. But why? I think that would be a strange thing to do.
Is it ethical? Is it fair to the dog?
In my opinion, it's not.
When we could
Those
have
are
just ate
my
the lentil
ethics.
soup instead. Yeah, right.
So
with
every
your
choice
ethics,
has to be
if your
individual.
ethics dictate that it's wrong to kill a dog for food, why is it okay to kill the pig and the cow when you don't need to? What's the difference between the animals?
Generally, well, in this situation, the dog and the pig, it would be cultural because we look at dogs
We
as
agree culture doesn't
companions.
justify.
And I
Yeah.
know not in every situation, but I'm
So-
telling you for me, for my choice, why I would view it as different. Because in my opinion,
But in your opinion, does culture justify? Does it being cultural justify
every
using the
time.
pig if
Not
you
every-
don't need to? I wonder, there are people in the world who find it cultural when they farm dogs. Do you think it's justified when they farm and kill dogs to eat them because it's part of their culture?
I wish that they wouldn't.
Why?
I mean, I don't know
Why?
that happens or where that happens.
It does, definitely happens. I'm wondering
Okay.
why you want it to stop.
I would prefer for them to, because we know that dogs can be so beneficial as companions, and we know
Because we
that
can get
dogs-
companionship out of dogs, therefore we shouldn't kill them? That's the reason?
Yeah, and
Okay,
I
let's
think that
imagine
the
a stray
whole-
dog who's really vicious, right?
Uh-huh.
They're nobody's companion. They'll
Okay.
never be a companion.
Yeah.
Is it okay to kill them and eat them if you don't need to?
I wouldn't do it.
But why would you kill the pig and the cow then? What's the difference?
I think
Do you
that.
think there is a difference, or do you think they both feel and they both want to live and we don't need to kill
Well,
either of them?
I'm not disputing that. I'm sure if the
Yeah.
dog could speak to you, or the pig could speak to you,
They'd say
or
the same thing,
the
right?
chicken could speak to you.
So why treat them
Sure.
differently?
In their
Why
way.
kill some and not others if they'd all say the same thing? Do you think it makes sense?
I think that life cycles are life cycles, and some people choose to eat meat, and some people don't.
Right.
Some people like
If
them.
it's a
Like,
choice,
for
why
some
would we
people,
choose to do it? If we have a choice not to,
Because
and these animals want to live and they don't
We
want to
all
be killed,
have free will.
we can
I mean,
choose to
somebody's-
use animals, but is it a good
Correct.
choice? Is it an ethical choice?
I mean, that's
from
for
the animal's
everyone
perspective.
Decide to say, like, someone's
for you,
choice
though.
could simply be
Well,
because
for you,
it's
wrong for the
delicious.
dogs. I'm wondering, why is it okay for the cow and the pig for you if it's wrong for the dog? Do you think you have contradiction there?
Why? Oh, sure. In the way that I view the animals, yeah, yeah, because I view like dogs and cats and puppy mills and people abandoning stray cats and things like that. I view that very different than somebody rearing an animal from birth and raising it.
That's so much worse,
Through a
right? Because then they
cycle.
actually kill them. It's so much worse, factory farms. Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah,
Right.
well, factory. Like I would compare factory farms to puppy mills to people that
And what about killing
don't
happy animals?
spay and neuter. Well, okay, so let me ask you this: should people spay and neuter their cats?
Absolutely.
So we should take away their ability to reproduce?
Well, we've domesticated cats.
Sure.
And we have an abundance of cats in shelters.
Right.
And they're actually killing them by the thousands
Yeah, yeah,
every
yeah.
year.
No, I agree
So
with
there's
you.
there's a moral obligation to rescue cats
Yeah.
rather than purchase them from breeders who continually do that. And we can prevent this surplus of cats.
Sure, but
this
if we
huge
could
overflowing of
speak to the
cats
cats.
by not allowing them to reproduce.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with
If
you.
we could talk to them
I'm
and
just
say
saying,
not to,
if
I
we
would,
could
yeah.
ask the cats
I would.
and say, hey, bud, like, we're going to cut your balls off. How do you feel about that? Like, do you think the cat would probably say, please don't do that to my body?
Yeah, but it's in their best interest. Do you think it's in the best interest of the pig or the cow or the bird for them to be killed for you when you don't need to eat them? Is it in their best interest?
That individual, and no, it's probably not in their best interest.
So there's a
but
difference,
we
yeah.
need to look at things. I think it's important to look at
So-
every system.
Yeah.
Like the way animals live,
Yeah.
the way they interact while they're alive, the way they're killed, the way
Right.
they're raised.
So to bring it back, like you agree that these animals have the capacity to suffer, and that they feel
Sure.
pain, and that they're conscious.
Yeah, of course.
So and you also recognize that we don't need to use them. Like we live in Portland, we don't have to. So
well,
do you think?
need? I don't know if I agree with you. Need is different for everybody.
Well, what for you?
For me, like I said, I experimented with a vegetarian and a vegan diet for over 5 years. And I found that when I started to add animal products back into my diet, I felt better. So that's all I can say. I can say for me personally, I was
Yeah.
open to all of the ideas and everything
Right.
that you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's why when I
Would you be
decided
open
to
to, like-
choose
yeah.
to consume animal products,
Right.
I chose to consume them in a very different way and make sure that I'm looking specifically at what animal products I'm purchasing,
Right.
who they're coming
If you
from,
found out that like
what the
this
system
isn't
is.
a genuine obstacle, maybe you found out some new information, some recipes, some food groups that you weren't eating before. If you found out that there was a different way of eating plant-based that allowed you to survive and thrive, do you agree with me that it would be as unnecessary and wrong to kill the pig as it is to kill the
I'm
dog?
always I'm always open to trying things, and I
Right.
still do. So
Good for you.
when new products come out, there's a new veggie burger, there's a new field
you.
roast. I'll still try it,
Right.
and I include it in my diet regularly because I don't
Why not
want
just
to.
swap them? Why not just swap them when you know that you can?
Well, I do sometimes. Yeah.
But why not totally? What stops you from just, revisiting?
Because I do know that, like, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I know day 6, day 7, day 8, day 9, I know that I feel different.
Right.
And then a little bit of beef, a little bit of chicken. And I would say more, it's like red meat. I feel more the difference in my energy levels,
Yeah.
in my dreams.
If you found out that you were getting more energy, more than you're actually getting from eating the cow, you were
Yeah.
getting more energy from eating a dog,
Mhm.
would you do it? Would you eat the dog to get that benefit?
Oh, no, I wouldn't. But we've already established that because in my mind, I view them differently. Like, I wouldn't do it.
But you acknowledge that they're the same in their capacity to suffer. So I wonder, why is it okay
Yeah, I
to
mean,
do
I
it to
think
the
that
pig?
if a horse breaks its leg, it feels pain just like if a dog
Right.
is injured
Definitely.
or something like that. Yeah, I agree completely. I think that, like, de-beaking, that's a nasty thing to do.
But they do that to all the birds you eat.
Or
So when you go to like the farmer's market or the grocery store and you give them your money for these products, there's a certain amount of animals who go through these practices, who have the knife meet their throat for you specifically.
right, but I mean, like, while de-beaking isn't something that happens at every farm. It does
It's
happen at a
standardized,
lot
about
of
99%.
factory
Yeah.
farms. Yeah, and that's why it's very important that we look very specifically on who we're getting our food from.
Yeah,
and that
but
we have a
regardless of who it comes from,
relationship
it
with
came
them.
from a bird who wanted to live, who didn't need to
Well,
die,
sure.
but they were killed unnecessarily. Would you agree that they are killed
But see, I
unnecessarily?
think that sometimes in this conversation you're injecting your opinions into the words, so it's not an either or question.
From the
when,
bird's
when
point
you
of
say
view.
like unnecessarily, like that's coming from your ethics and your point of view and your
Right.
opinion,
Right.
and not general like life
Yeah.
of the world.
If you found out that everybody could be plant-based healthfully and that the problem wasn't the plant-based diet, but it was the implementation of it by people who maybe didn't have the full knowledge or the full background to know how to do it, if you found that out, if you found out it was possible for you to be plant-based, would you find it an obligation to leave the animals be, to not use and kill them?
I mean, hypotheticals are always interesting.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that in a perfect world, if no animal would ever have to suffer or
For
ever
you.
die,
Well,
or
animals are going to suffer and die, but if they
Right.
didn't have to suffer or die for you, would that be a good thing?
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay. Well, I would love to connect you with a resource that shows you some of those different health-related information. It like allows you to figure out maybe some gaps that might have been present last time, and that might help you take another jab at it. Because it sounds like you're a compassionate person, and that you do care about these animals. You know they suffer, and you're holding on to, I think from what I hear, is that you might think you need to do it to some extent.
Well, not think. See, that's again, I think some of your things you're saying are coming from your frame of reference.
Right, but we do have empirical evidence.
Right, but it's not that
which is higher quality than anecdotes.
It's that I also went to school for nutrition and science, so it's not that I'm not just making stuff up. It's like I know how my body felt. I know. So it's not like I was vegan, I just ate pizza.
Would you be open to like information that showed otherwise?
Always, and I'm always looking at information.
Well, I'd love to share a card with you. I really enjoyed this interview. I hope it's been engaging, and like I know I've pushed you on a few things, and I hope that maybe it's expanded your perspective a touch.
Well, no, because I think we agree on a lot of what we're saying, and I know
You're
that
right,
in a perfect hypothetical
we've
world,
been agreeing on a lot,
there would be no pain, there would be no suffering for anything, for anyone.
And if you could survive plant-based, then it would be the case for those animals who were being used
survive,
for you.
I know I could be alive plant-based.
Right,
yeah.
but we're all surviving, we're thriving. There's millions of vegans across the world. There's vegan bodybuilders, vegan Olympic athletes, all of them.
There is. Yeah.
And there's empirical evidence.
Think that, okay, so let's go beyond the ethical of, I know that from your
We're
frame,
here for the ethics, so I might not be interested.
Eating and being alive, but what about the ethics environmentally?
It's certainly worse for the environment to not be vegan as well.
Do you think that's true in all cases? Because I think there might be some blind spots in how you're looking at everything.
So is it because you imagine we need to grow more plants in order to support a vegan food system or a plant-based food system?
Even in our current agricultural system, there are a lot of downfalls to the way
like
we're
human
doing
exploitation?
things. Yeah, well, not just that. I mean, monocropping is a disaster.
Right, so the bulk of
ecologically and
monocropping is actually fed to animals so that humans can use and eat them.
Yeah,
So if we want to minimize
monocropping, in general, though.
yeah, right. But if we want to minimize monocropping, then the way to do that is to go plant-based. We actually have another source on here that shows that it's actually the largest study ever conducted on the matter.
That contributes to all of it. I just think that there are some blind spots sometimes, or pesticide use. Like, not everything that we do in the plant world is perfect.
No, we should definitely address those too. My point is just like we should address that and go plant-based as well. But if we were to imagine if we didn't adjust any of those other atrocities, or injustices rather, in the plant food system, they would be happening less frequently if we ate the plants directly, because there would be fewer plants being grown overall. Does that make sense?
It does in theory.
Well, it's necessarily true because animals eat way more plants than us.
Oh yeah, if you're looking at by volume, like cows, but that's why it's important to graze them and not have grain-fed animals and what we're feeding them. It's important to take in every aspect of our food system.
Yeah, well, we're going a little bit of circles, so I think we'll wrap it around here because we've talked about happy animals, and we can agree that it's not. Well, I don't know if we can agree, but I would posit it's not that it's not.
We can't ask them.
Well, you're saying that they're happy. I'm not saying they're happy. You're saying they're pasture raised, they're happy animals,
well, I
they're
didn't
not
say
suffering.
Happy, better taken care of.
Okay. Do you think it's okay to kill animals who are better taken care of if we don't need to? If we have another option?
But again, see, that's saying like empirically that you think 100% that we don't need to.
There is empirical evidence to that.
I don't think that that's the case. And I
if
know
you saw
from
that
my
empirical evidence, would you rethink it if you saw that evidence?
Well, so have you ever seen something that was stated as a fact and then later changed your mind and believed that that's not actually a fact?
That is actually the idea that we need to eat animals. That was proven not to be a fact to me.
Okay, to you?
Well, through the evidence.
High
quality evidence, peer-reviewed evidence rather than an anecdote, a personal anecdote.
And then in my so I believed that too. And then my personal experience showed me, for me, that wasn't the case.
Right.
Could I live? Yeah. Was I thriving? Was my health optimal? No.
Right. Well, what we're seeing is that a lot of the worst impacts to human health actually come from eating animals. Well, they do. Heart disease does come from eating animals. This is something we do know as well empirically.
Contributes.
It causes, actually. Dietary cholesterol causes atherosclerosis, hard word to spit out, but that's heart disease. So we do know that. But what I will do is we'll wrap this up and I'll leave you with a card just that shows you that health-based information, because you seem like somebody who would actually seek that out. And if
Yeah.
you found out that you could, you sound like somebody who would make the switch.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I keep trying things.
Right. Good for you. And I
Yeah,
love that.
open to
I'm
anything.
the same way. Like, if somebody tells me about a new composting technique or a
Yeah.
new recycling, I'm like, let's make the world a better
I'll
place.
try it. If somebody's like, hey, this is a veggie burger and it's better than any burger you've ever had, I'm down. Let me try it.
Right. I'll leave you with one like difficult question,
Okay.
and then we'll wrap it up and be
Sure.
done. Until you decide to go plant-based and vegan, there will be some animals being sent to a slaughterhouse for you.
Yes.
How quickly, from their perspective, should you make the change?
I think that I should make a change at any point where I find something that works for me.
So you're not
I
thinking
feel
about
better,
them, you're thinking about
not
you?
Just, well, of course, we should all. I mean, for me to live and to thrive, I have to think about me and my individual choices. So, again, I think that from a base perspective, your base perspective is that no one should consume animal products.
Right.
And
you believe that for dogs too. So we come with commonality.
Yeah, yeah.
You just admitted that you have a contradiction with other animals.
I do, sure.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I feel like there's a difference between humans and animals, and I
Right.
feel like there's a difference in species
Between
of
me and you.
animals. Yeah, of course.
But we wouldn't kill me and you because we're different.
Of course.
We shouldn't kill animals because they're different.
Not because they're different, no.
Yeah.
But because
Especially when we don't need to.
I'm going to consume it, and I respect its life cycle, and I think that we should all have reverence for the animal's life cycles.
I agree.
And appreciate them.
We should appreciate animals while they're
Yeah.
alive. I just disagree that we should use and kill them when we don't need to. And I
Right.
understand that you're
And see,
coming
that's
to
the
some
only-
problems
like,
with
that's
this
the
need
only
question.
point that we don't agree on.
But I can definitely leave you with this information, and you can see where it takes you.
Yeah.
And you can ask yourself, like, when you're looking in the mirror after you review this information, do I want another animal to be killed for me, if knowing that
We should be
that it's
doing
not
that with
necessary?
Every choice that we make.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm working on
Products
it.
we consume,
Right.
the amount of trash we create.
I went to a zero waste store yesterday, and
That's awesome.
it was amazing. And
I'm
I
trying
just
so hard to find every bit of plastic packaging that I can eliminate.
good for you.
So
Continue thinking about this.
Yeah.
Continue reflecting.
Yeah.
Continue thinking about these animals.
yeah, we
I
all
pre-
should.
I appreciate this conversation.
Cool.
Oh wait, this is a different one. It's not the one I intended.
Okay.
Give me a second.
Just kidding.
So on this side, it connects you with Dominion, but you can also scan the QR code and it will
Okay.
take you to some resources on the health aspects that we discussed.
Sure.
Something else that can be really powerful on this side is the Dominion movie. It goes
Okay.
over not like aberrations and like horrible treatments, but just kind of the standard practices within factory farms and slaughterhouses.
Sure.
So maybe even if you don't
Yeah.
contribute to the factory farms, you'll at least see the same slaughterhouse practices that the pasture-raised
Oh
animals
yeah,
go through,
and I'm
you
sure
can decide
a lot
whether
of
you
that
want
we
to
totally
contribute.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure we agree on. We probably agree on everything up until the point of consumption of animal products at all.
Well, I think
Other
I
than
think
that,
even
I
we
think we
agree
agree.
that I think even we agree that there is a level of unfairness to it because you said it's a contradiction and you wouldn't do it for dogs. So I think we even agree on that point.
And unfairness is something that sometimes we get to look at from a luxury position.
Do you think the animals have it luxurious?
Do you like the choice, right? So I know that you started this premise with here in Portland, Oregon.
That was
with
specific.
Our choices.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very specific.
Well, anyone who
question
can go
in
to a
this
grocery
moment.
store really is what I'm talking
in the
about.
world?
Most grocery stores in the world, they have beans, they have
But
rice, they have legumes, they have
places in the
potatoes,
world.
they have
So you
sweet
think
potatoes.
you think living people all over the planet have the same?
No, I think
access
everybody
and
who
options?
has access to options should exercise those options.
Sure.
Like,
Okay.
like for instance, you and I, we could
Yeah.
not kill birds. We could not kill cows. And I'm just
Yeah,
saying that,
yeah.
if you find out through this resource that that's probably something that you should be looking into. And I don't mean in a judgmental way. It just seems like it's in line with who you are and our shared principles.
Yeah, and like I said, I agree. Up until the one base issue of just consuming the animals, I think we're in the same spot.
Yeah. Well, consider watching that documentary and decide if you want animals to continue to go through that for you. Just continue thinking about this.
Yeah.
Don't let this be the last time you ponder it.
Oh, never.
Yeah.
Never stop thinking.
Okay. Well, thank you for the conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate it. You have a great day.
You too.
It was
Take
nice
care.
to meet you.
Yeah, absolutely.